Do I miss America? No. The weather was too brutal. The summers were excessive. People were passive aggressive and fake. A lot of them had never encountered black people before, and you could tell. Some of the questions we used to get, baby, we can't make it up. What's good? What's poppin'? What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jessie, aka Miss J. And if you cannot already tell from the title, today I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit of the backstory of why I came to Linux University, why I moved to Luxembourg, why I left the US of A. So if you guys are ready for the tea, make sure you guys get yourself a cup of tea because it is freezing out here. But if you're back home in the lovely summer, spring season right now, get yourself some Zoe, get yourself some Orals, a little bit of ice, and sit back, relax, and let's get into this tea. Okay, so I've got a bunch of questions here on my iPad. This is a mix of questions I've gotten for people over the last couple of months. So basically since I left the US, about the last 4 months or so. So I've got all the questions here on my iPad ready to answer them for you. If there's any questions that I do not answer that you guys still have, make sure you put them in the comments down below and I'll either reply to a comment, or if there's a lot of questions, I will make sure to do a part 2 of this video and answer those questions for you. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is, when did you start planning to move to Luxembourg? So I started looking at moving out of Utah in May of last year, so May 2022, because in April I had just finished my job shadowing of the Salt Lake City Stars. The Salt Lake City Stars are the G League team of the NBA Utah Jazz team. So I was job shadowing the athletic trainer. Shout out to Juan and LaDonna for allowing me to job shadow you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity. It was really cool to like job shadow with them and hang out with them, and then so get to like hang out with the team. A lot of the players who I used to hang out with are being called up to the NBA. Like, shout out to y'all. And I learned a lot during that job shadowing opportunity. I used to ask a lot of questions, and some things that I learned during the job shadowing is that athletic trainers, especially at the professional level, have unpredictable schedules, and they do quite a bit of traveling because they travel with the teams. One of the athletic trainers was actually engaged at the time, and I got to meet his fiance, and his fiance was like, girl, he be gone for like a long time ago. He comes back for like a day and he's traveling again. So learning that, I was like, maybe this is not the job for me. Like the social aspect and the doing the job itself, I would have loved to do it because I think I have a passion for that and I'm naturally a social person. However, I want to be a more involved parent when I eventually have kids one day. So I just felt like, let me not go into a career that's going to prevent me from doing that. And let me start looking for a different career right now while I'm still young and I still have the chance to do that. So I realized that I still wanted to work in sports, but I was not really sure where in sports I wanted to work. At the time, I was working in the exercise science department at my school, and we shared an office with the athletic department. So I would oftentimes help the athletic department out with like tasks if they needed help with anything, game setup or anything like that. And I would often have conversations with the athletic director, the head of budgeting and logistics, and the head of game operations, and asking them a few questions. I realized that maybe I would like to go into sports management and do one of these type of jobs, like being an athletic director or head of budgeting and stuff like that. So I started looking for sports management schools, and to my surprise, none of the Utah universities offer sports management, which is really weird to me because we have all the skiing and stuff. But yeah, none of them had it, of which I was not complaining because I was not trying to stay in Utah anyways. So I started looking at schools in the other states. I was primarily wanting to go to Dallas, Texas because I have family out there. I love Dallas weather. I love Dallas people in general. Like, I just love Dallas. So I was looking to go there, but I was open to going to other states. How did you choose Linux University and Luxembourg? So I was never looking at Luxembourg. Let me just say that Luxembourg was not even my mind. I wasn't even looking to move to Europe. One day I was going through a list of schools in the US. The website said in the US that offer sports management, and underneath that list I found Linux University. And I was so surprised to find that all the degrees offered at Linux University at the time only focus around sport. So the degrees were physiotherapy, sports management, and sports and exercise science. So I was like, wow, a school that only does sports sounds like a school for me. So I applied because my mom told me, like, just apply, like you never know what's gonna happen. And in the application process, that's when I saw, oh, this school's in Luxembourg. But I was like, well, what are the chances I get in, especially because it's a private institution? I was like, yeah, I probably won't get in. I'll apply for fun and just see like the criteria. And I applied, and 6 weeks later I got an application. I got an acceptance offer, and I was like, I got in. And I had gotten in for 2022 winter semester, which is last year in October. So I told my mom was like, girl, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And I was like, ah. It was really weird because I'm the one who applied, but now she was convincing me to go. Because I don't know, at that point when it became real, I didn't want to leave Utah. But then I realized that in the long run, this would be better for me. So I decided, okay, I want to go to the school. I replied to the school, told them I want to come to their school, but I asked them if I could defer for a year because this was in June of last year and school starts in October, and the process of moving and stuff is a really long process. You couldn't just start that in June at that point. So I deferred for a year, especially since I was still in Utah, I was still in school. Like, there was a lot of things happening at the time. We were not at all prepared for this. So I decided to stay in Utah, and we've just been planning moving to Luxembourg ever since then. So it's been a long time coming. It was not on purpose. It kind of just fell into my hands, but I'm a very strong believer in, like, if God presents something to you, there's a reason, and then I have to follow that reason. So when this got presented to me, I was like, well, God wants me to be here, so I guess that's where I'm gonna go. The next question is, what is the hardest part of moving, girl? Listen, oh my days. The hardest part of moving is actually the moving out itself. Like, I have a lot of clothes. I've always had a lot of clothes. In Utah, I had a lot of clothes, a lot of bags, a lot of shoes. My suitcases were packed. So I decided to give away a bunch of my clothes. I sold a bunch of them to Plato's Closet and Uptown Cheapskate, and I still had a lot of things that I said to give away because they don't take everything that you sell to them. I had a lot of shoes. I gave a lot of things to friends, like stationery and stuff like that. I just had a lot of stuff. And even so, at the airport, one of my suitcases was still 10 pounds overweight. So like the friends and family who went to the airport with me that day ended up taking a bunch of like my sweaters, my sweatpants, my shoes, just to help me get rid of that weight. And then when I came home, I did a little bit of shopping, like I only went shopping like twice, okay, in the entire time I was home for 3 months. And I still had to leave a lot of clothes at home just to come here. And even with that, my suitcase was still almost 10 kilograms overweight, which is about 20 pounds, which is a lot. So I had to pay for that excess weight from Namibia all the way to here. And then on top of that, I still had 8 of my coats that could not fit in my suitcase that ended up being DHL by my mom to come here. So it was just a long process and very expensive as well. So yeah, the moving part was horrible. Like, I actually just never want to move ever again because I am not moving my clothes to another country again. I just have way too many stuff. Like, even now, like here, I have too many stuff. I didn't buy anything, but just like, I have a lot of stuff. I'm not moving again. I can't do it. How did you find accommodation in Luxembourg? That's a great question. I actually got asked that today by somebody. I started looking for accommodation in Luxembourg, I would say in June-ish. And on my school website, they have a bunch of recommendations of places to stay. Y'all, I want to stay in this place in France. It's like 15 minutes away from my school, I think, driving. They have breakfast shows in the morning. It was really cheap. Like, laundry, everything you could want was there. But it's in France, and as an international student from outside of the EU, I couldn't stay in France. So I was limited to Luxembourg, which is more costly than living in Belgium or France or Germany. And my school put down an agency in Luxembourg that's the preferred agency to work with, but then they had the wrong email. So luckily I had my big sister Lopa here in Luxembourg who managed to get the correct email address for me. I emailed them, I let them know what I was looking for, and they suggested this place. And they sent me a bunch of different plans, and I chose the plan that has my own bed, my own bathroom, and my own kitchen. There's an option to just do your own, like, your own room and your own bathroom, then you share a kitchen and a living room. But I've been in boarding school for 7 years. We're not going back to that. Okay, no thank you. And then there's a bigger option like mine, like your own bedroom, kitchen, and living room, but then you also get like a little like dining room area and a balcony. So that one is bigger, but then it's also more expensive. And I was just like, we don't need all that. Okay, all I need is my bed and my kitchen. So yeah, we ended up going with this option, and then I filled in an application, and then I got approved, and then they said I could come see the apartment. But obviously I think I was in South Africa by then. So then my big sister Lopa came and saw the apartment on my behalf. She sent me a bunch of videos, and I saw the apartment and I loved it. So I chose the apartment, and then they just sent you the contract. I signed the contract online, and you pay like your first month's rent, you pay I think like insurance, and you pay like the agency fee, all those 3 things in one go, and then you're ready to go. So that's how I got my apartment. I secured my apartment in August already. So like, we've been planning this for a minute. You have to start early because Luxembourg is really competitive. A lot of people want to stay in the student accommodations. And nice thing about Luxembourg is some accommodations are only for students, some are only for young working professionals. I stay in an all student accommodation, students who go to University of Luxembourg as well as Linux University. So yeah, it was not easy. Start early, like start in July, August, if your school starts in like September, October, just to make sure that you secure the accommodation, because it's really competitive. What do you like about Luxembourg so far? The real question is, what don't I like about Luxembourg so far? I love Luxembourg. I literally have almost no complaints about Luxembourg. My favorite thing is the free transport. Like in Utah, we had access to free transport, but like Utah is not built for a public transport kind of state. Like it's just the distances between bus stations and bus stops and train stations, like it's insane. So I'm not the biggest fan of public transport in Utah, but here there's a bus stop 4 minutes away from my house, 2 minutes away, 6 minutes away, 5 minutes away. Like there's bus stops all around me for different buses that go to different places. I live 15 minutes away from the train station. In the city center, there's the trains, there's the buses, and there's the tram. The tram comes every 4 minutes. Listen, where have you been where the transport comes every 4 minutes? 4 minutes is insane. So yeah, I love public transport here. It's really easy to go to places. They also have late night buses, so if you want to go out, like clubs here close at 3 a.m. Let's say in Classen, they close at 3 a.m. In Classen at 3 a.m. there's buses to literally almost every single place in Luxembourg at 3 a.m. They call them the late night buses. And then after 3 a.m. the next one comes, I think, at like 5 a.m. again, or is it 4 a.m. and then 5 a.m. So there are quite a few late night buses. This is pretty much everywhere. Like there's a lot of late night buses, so you will get home one way or another. They also have late night trains. If I'm coming from the city, I think I have a train at 3 a.m. and one at 5 a.m. So if I want to like stay up all night, I could with my friends and then come up at 5 a.m. It's really possible. So we have options, which is really nice, because for my school we have quite a few events that end quite late. We had a Halloween event like 2 weeks ago that ended at 3 a.m. We have a gala this coming week, it ends like 2 a.m. So it's really good to have public transport options for events that are ending so late. So yeah, that's my favorite thing about Luxembourg. But people here are also really friendly, like not a scary friendly. Like in Utah it's kind of scary. Here it feels like a genuine type of friendly, so it's really nice. And also Luxembourg is so culturally diverse. People are from everywhere. I think the most populations are besides Luxembourgish people, quite a few people from Germany, Belgium, from France, from Portugal, from Cape Verde. Those are like the most common nationalities here. A couple English, a couple people from like Senegal, Togo, Nigeria. Like you just meet people from all over. It's really diverse. The main languages here are French, Luxembourgish, and German, but you can get it by with English because people from all over, a lot of people speak English, but you need to know French. I will say French is a very big asset here in Luxembourg, especially because I live in the south. We right by France, so you need to speak French. So luckily, shout out to Mrs. Garmonda for teaching me French. But yeah, we need some French because all the signs and instructions on the train and stuff like that are always in French. So knowing French helps you. But if you only know English, you will get by. What don't you like about Luxembourg? Great question. The list is very short. Don't really have anything I can say I really like dislike. The only thing that's not my favorite is the rain. We've had rain for almost 3 weeks straight now, of which if you've been here for a minute, you know I hate the rain. But like, this is not like Eswatini rain. Eswatini's rain was like traumatic. It was too much. It was dramatic. It was giving hurricane. The rain here is really more like showers, like sometimes a light drizzle. Like it's really not crazy, and it doesn't rain throughout the entire day. It might rain a little bit in the morning and then stop for 2 hours and then rain a little bit and then stop and start. Like I think we've only had one day where it rained like the whole day, but most of the time it's up and down, up and down. Sometimes the sun comes out for a little bit, then it goes back, so it's not too crazy. Like I think after living in Swaziland, I can't live in a place with worse rain than Swaziland. I will say I prefer the snow over the rain. Utahns are probably like, girl, but listen to me. Snow, it snows and then it's solid for a while, especially because it's cold. Here the rain is wet, but because it doesn't rain that heavy, it's not terrible, so I'll take it. I'm not gonna complain. I'm really not gonna complain about it. Like the first week I was upset, but now I'm kind of used to it. It's not that bad. What's different about Linux University compared to Salt Lake Community College? I have a specific video where I'll be talking about the main differences, but just to give you guys an idea, Differences are we don't work on a basis where like you pick your classes for the semester. We work on a basis of cohorts. So I have my specific cohort and we take modules together. We don't even call them classes, we call them modules. We take modules together as a whole cohort and we take one module at a time. So in Utah, you take 4 classes or 5 classes, or how many ever classes you want at a time. Yeah, we take 4 modules or 5 per semester and we take one at a time. So right now it's about to go into our 2nd month of school and we've already finished one module and we're into the next one. We're going to be doing that for the rest of November and then we're going to start another module in December. So that's kind of how it works. You do one at a time, which is nice because you're focusing on one subject at a time, so it's not too crazy. We don't have school every day. We don't have a fixed schedule. So like in Utah, I knew I had like psychology every Tuesday and Thursday, English every Monday and Wednesday. Here we would have class on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. Next week is Monday and Friday. Next week is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Like you have to pay attention to the schedule because you might just go to school and find out that we don't have a class today because our schedule is just so up and down. But if you know me, you know I don't like patterns. It makes me really boring. I hate schedules. So just like random days is really, really fun. We got a lot of rest days. We got a lot of rest time in between modules. Like I absolutely love Linux, but I'll get more into that in the video coming out soon. The last question is, what do you miss about America if you miss America? Do I miss America? No. I think the US was incredible. I think the places I visited while I was there, especially this last time, so like Louisiana, Texas, Illinois, Tennessee, like you guys have seen all those vlogs and I absolutely loved all those states, and I think I love them because they were diverse. Do I miss Utah? Absolutely not. Like I was low-key miserable in Utah. Everybody who knows me knows that I hated Utah. I always said I was going to leave Utah. Like I thought I was going to stay in America at least, but I always said I was going to leave Utah. Like I think Utah and I just we didn't click. Like my little sister even told me like she can see the difference in me living in Luxembourg compared to when I first moved in Utah. Like my first month in Utah, I was miserable. I was ready to leave. I'm not joking. I was ready to leave. Like I told my mom like I hate Utah. But my first month in Luxembourg, I'm like, girl, I could stay here for the rest of my life. Okay, I love Luxembourg. It is an incredible city, incredible country. Like I love it here so much. In Utah, no. The entire time I was there, I never enjoyed it. I think the only reason why Utah was bearable is because I was in the Black Student Union, and all my friends that I made from the Black Student Union started to like people you see on the channel like Hakeem, Sharifa, JC. Like I think they made life worth living while I was in Utah. Like I really miss them a lot. Like if I could go and just see them and leave, or if I could bring them to Luxembourg, I would. Like I miss the 3 of them so freaking much. Besides that, and my family there. Like in Utah, I had a lot of family. Like I had Wally, I had like people up in Idaho who would come to Utah all the time. So like the Zim population in Utah was big, and I think I miss that sometimes. But I would not go back just for that. I'm so sorry. Like I love y'all. Shout out to Wally and McKenna, like the fam. But I'm not going back for that. Like for me, it's not worth it. Utah was colder than here. Here it's not that cold. People here are always like, oh my gosh, aren't you cold? And I'm like, no. Like it'd be 8 degrees and people here are crying. It's so funny because I'm like, y'all, Utah minus 20. I literally lived through minus 20 degrees Celsius. So this is nothing. This is child's play. So I think yeah, the weather was too brutal. The summers were excessive. People were passive aggressive and fake. A lot of them had never encountered Black people before, and you could tell some of the questions we used to get, baby, we can't make it up. If you guys follow the Black ministers on TikTok or Instagram, you'll see. We just can't make it up. It was too much. So yeah, I don't miss the US. I don't miss Utah. The only thing I miss is the people. People who really made Utah like an incredible place for me. So you saw most of them in the vlogs. And I miss the free school trips. But then I hear that we have those here, so I'm just like, yeah, we don't need Utah. It's okay. We don't need Utah. It is okay. That has been this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing how I ended up in Luxembourg, because Luxembourg is a bit of a random country. When I told people I was moving to Luxembourg, they were like, girl, where the hell is Luxembourg? People thought it was in the Netherlands. People thought it was in Germany. Luxembourg is its own country, honey. Okay. My camera cut up. I'm going to end the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any more questions, put them down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you guys get a notification every single time I drop. And make sure you guys leave a like. It helps me a lot. I really appreciate it. That being said, that's been this video. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.